Well, it's worth starting with a definition, really. What do we mean by geopolitical risk? So I'm talking about wars, I'm talking about conflicts, I'm talking about shocks to commodity supply that have a global economic impact. So excluding things like local election results, specific to individual countries, things that have that localized impact. Now, even narrowly defined, these big geopolitical shocks actually happen quite often. As long-term investors, we should expect to meet them on our investment journey. You alluded to this idea at the start that these events are difficult to forecast. I definitely agree with that. In our work, we kept coming back to these the quotes from US Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld back from the noughties. He talked about the idea of known unknowns, so risks that we're kind of aware of but don't have a good way of quantifying, and then the unknown unknowns, so risks that we haven't even imagined, so can't hope to put a meaningful probability on. And that tallies with the academic evidence, the fact that even people steeped in geopolitical expertise really struggle to forecast these events. That leads some investors to take, I suppose, a fatalistic approach. I can't predict these events, so I'll bury my head in the sand. There's nothing I can do about this. We think there's a lot more that can be done, and that's what we'll talk about today. We think there's value in monitoring these events, looking out for red flags that give us signals of when they might be imminent, even just a month or two ahead, even if it's not possible to forecast, say, a year in advance. And also, as you alluded to, having these plans ready as well. So over the next few minutes, I'll talk through the framework we've set out, but essentially we tried to answer three main questions. So first of all, what are the biggest geopolitical risks that we should think about? Second, how can we monitor them? And then third, how can we plan? How can we be ready to move our portfolios should they happen? And I hope that by answering those questions, we can provide a bit of reassurance about what's sometimes a worrying subject for clients.